This episode brought to you by our friends at Hover, the easiest way to buy domain names and do more with them. Get 25% off today by visiting hover.com/MrMobile. Hi, I'm Jay Goldman. You're watching Mr. Mobile. Today we're going to take a look at some iPhone power tips. So if you're an iPhone user, pay attention. The first tip has to do with the home screen. Now you may know that you can actually scroll left and right on the home screen just by putting your finger down and dragging, and that works pretty much everywhere on the iPhone. But sometimes that can be a little bit difficult because you might tap on an application by accident or jump into the rearrange application mode. What you might not know is that you can actually just tap in the bottom left and right corners of the home screen, and that will take you back and forth page by page. Tip number 2, if you're on a really long page of information, say for example in Safari and you've scrolled all the way to the bottom of something, instead of scrolling all the way back to the top by just dragging your finger, you can tap on the status bar at the top of the iPhone screen. And that status bar should be there pretty much everywhere, except maybe if you're playing a game that's taken over the full screen experience. It's the bar at the top that's got your battery and signal strength indicator as well as the clock. Tap on that and you should scroll right back to the top of your page. Okay, number 3. Sometimes you see something on your iPhone screen that's so cool you wish you could take a screenshot of it. Well, you can. As long as you're running the newer versions of Apple's iPhone OS, this should work in anything from 2.1 on, you can take a screenshot at any time by holding down the home key and pressing the power or lock key on the top of the iPhone. So again, that's the home key and the power and lock key on the top of the iPhone. That'll grab a screenshot, your screen will flash white for a second, and it'll save it inside your camera roll in the Photos application. All right, 4th tip. Sometimes when you're in Safari, you might be wondering where a link goes because you're on a web page that hasn't labeled it all that well. And you don't really want to click on it and go to that page without knowing, maybe because you're worried about how much data you're using on your data plan, or because you don't want to get lost inside of some other website. Well, you can actually get a preview of where links go if you hold your finger down on the link instead of just tapping on it. That will actually pop up a little preview that tells you where that link's going before you click on it, and then you can tap again if you'd like to follow it through. Okay, our last tip for today has to do with using the home button when you're inside of other applications. If you're like me and you use your iPhone as an iPod, sometimes you've got a song playing and maybe you want to skip to the next song or the previous song while you're doing something else. You don't want to stop what you're doing and go back out to the iPod application. Well, you can configure your home button to do different things when it's double tapped. I have mine set up, and by default it should be, as an iPod control. So I can actually double tap my home button and it'll take me into an overlay of iPod controls where I can control the music that's playing. That even works if the iPod is locked, so if your phone is locked and you don't want to type in your password just to change songs, double tapping the home button should pop up the overlay on top of it. Those are our top 5 iPhone power tips. Hope you like them and they make your iPhone experience a little bit brighter. You can check out other episodes of Mr. Mobile on butterscotch.com. Thanks for watching. This episode brought to you by our friends at Hover, the easiest way to buy domain names and do more with them. Get 25% off today by visiting hover.com/MrMobile.